Hi, y'all. How is everyone? So today's just a chatty chat. Um, Nothing too heavy, nothing too strong. Um, Few things on my mind, few things on everyone's mind. At the moment, it was a video sent of the king having a flip over. He's high cement shoes. He well, we saw him over the last couple of days, shooing away the help, and telling people to move his stuff. And his desk is really tiny. Like, if I had a desk that tiny, I'd be like, where the hell is my desk? Where the hell is my mommy's desk that I should be using now? I'm like king, like, where's my crown? Like, he can't wear a crown for a year. But, like, he's not that little tiny desk he's trying to write on, first of all. That would frustrate the most innocent of people, and the most precious, the most patient of people out there. So get on my desk, take off his things. Although I have to say, I thought in one of the trays, I looked at it today, and I don't know what it was today, but I looked at it the other day, and I thought there was rolled up smoking things in one of the trays. Now, it could have been that because, you know, trolling things and stuff. So, and I was like looking at it and looking at it. I really wish I could screen share, because some of these things that are coming out are just a little bit funny. They're a little bit so I would be grateful towards some things that are coming out, but some of them are quite funny. So yeah, I thought they were rolling up smoking thingies that were in one of his trays, and then the other side. But sure, look at the desk he's writing on is tiny. But um yeah, he's flipping out. He's losing his cool. He's completely lost the plot. And in the last video I was sent, um it's actually quite discerning, because it's not unconstitutional and it's fraud. But he was writing the dates down wrong, and he wrote the 10th on something, and then he wrote the 12th on something else, and then his pen started leaking all over Camilla, and he was getting frustrated, and he walked out all angry and thick, and she sat down, and she planked herself on his chair and proceeded to sign his name and date the paper, which she's not allowed to do. She is not the king. Camilla, you've just, I'm not sure about plagiarized, but you've definitely broken the law, and you have committed fraud. You have signed your husband's name, the king, no less. The king, no less. You have just signed his name and dated a document that is going to go to Parliament. Um, what do you like? What did you think you were doing, woman? What did you think you were doing? Anyway, I'm sure she'll get away with it because these people do. Um, I also saw pictures of him, and he's swollen. But he has been his peripheral and his peripheral. It's not. That's not the word, Samantha. His I want to say dangly bits. His fingers and legs, and I can't think of the right name for those parts of the body. But what does begin with P though? Anyway, regardless. Um yeah, they're swelling up and retaining fluid, and it's not good. But it's been doing that for about a year now. I've noticed it for about a year. People have called him his sausage fingers, but he didn't have them before. This is just something in the last while that people have started noticing. Um, yeah. So I did do the cards. I'm not supposed to, but I did consult the cards, and he's not well after his last bout of COVID. He's not well. Hi, Shmita. Um, and it's not looking good for him. And the cards did say he wouldn't be on the throne very long, so we'll just see if they're right or wrong. But yeah, I'm not happy with the way she could just think she could just sit down there and sign that form. No, that's not good. And then we had yesterday, we had the debacle of the first arrangement was for the brothers to go out to the public on their own, and that's why they were in their own car. Well, they were in William's car, and we know this is all just for cameras and for show. But anyway, they were in their car, the two boys, to go down and wish all the community. I'm sorry, I'm not looking at. Oh, there's no chat going really. That's grand, because I'm an awful person. I turn on the stream thinking more than chatting. And anyway, so the first plan was for the two boys to go down to the crowds and talk to the crowds and thank them for coming and take their flowers and lay them beside the few flowers that the Queen has. If people would like to look at the Queen's flowers, do so. I would actually urge people to look at the Queen's flowers. They say they go down at 12 o'clock at night time and clear them away down to Hyde Park or somewhere. Um, so as it's accessible to others, because Lady Diana's flowers were, the bouquets were 6 and 7 rows high and everywhere. So they're comparing the flowers that the Queen got to the flowers that Diana got, and like they don't compare. And that's why they're coming up with the, well, we moved them away so people can access, but there's no access to Buckingham Palace anyway. So, or to where Diana's flowers were laid. So they could put the Queen's there and leave them there. They didn't have to move them. Now that might change. That could change, because she's still in Scotland, I think. I think she's being transported by airplane today from Scotland to London, and then she's going to Wales, or the other way around. I can't remember where she's being buried. I think it's beside her father. Um, oh God, my hands numb. But yeah, that was weird. To see, and for the press to come out with, oh yeah, they're moving them at 12 o'clock at night time. Why are they moving them at 12 o'clock at night time? It's a queer witching hour to be doing it at. Um, and why from 12 o'clock at night until 12 o'clock the next night is there only a few still laid out? Wonder. Um, Sorry, I'm only after getting a WhatsApp there, and apparently the number on the plane is. Let me see. Can I come bring it down? ZZ 177 is the number on the airplane. 177. Nice sound. God, I'd love to know the gematria right now on 177. But the ZZ is a nice sound to be on an airplane. Anyway, stop it, Samantha. Him getting on an airplane is highly, highly dangerous. Personally, there's another explanation for the ZZ. It could be that it could be for the sheep that are still sleeping, to see if they'll wake up. I don't want. Anyhow, um, I still think it's a lizard sound, but that's neither here nor there. Where was I? Oh yeah, Prince Charles's Odema. Not a good idea for him to be flying on an airplane with Mama or Mummy or Mama or my mother, however he decides to call her. On a daily basis, it always changes. My dear Mama, my dear mother, my predecessor. Yeah, whatever, Charles. Um, yeah. So his Odema's not good. I did do the cards, did do all of that. It's not good. Him fly low. So I should watch out for that news coming in the cards. I know I shouldn't be doing them without free will, but sometimes I'm just nosy. Um, I've completely went off track from Wills and Wills and Harry, but William and Harry went down to we're going down to greet the crowd and do the whole spiel and take the flowers and thank the people for coming and whatever, whatever. But apparently there was a big, huge hullabaloo row between the Carkles, and um she has a plaster on her finger. He has scrapes along the side of his face. Optics, I don't know. Truth, I don't know. Is it just for the uh, media to hate her that little bit more? I don't know. Possibly. So she had apparently a big, huge row. Catherine said, "Well, if she's going, blah blah blah, I'm going. I'm, I'm in the car. I'm there. I'm there. If she's there, I'm Duchess of Wales now or Princess of Wales. I'm going. Whatever. Yeah, she can do what she wants. I don't care. I'm going to see all of the people." So all four end up going. Personally, I think, well, if Charles is on the airplane going to get his mother, I think the three men should have had a chance to go on their own, just like they did for Diana. I think the king, the future king, and Harry should have had the chance to go and talk to the people on their own. Um, as the king and the future king, and of course their brother. And it would have been able to maybe build some bridges that need to be built, and the two women stay at home. But those two women will be fighting till the end. It'll be handbags at dawn with them too some night. Um, Andrew yesterday. I watched two clips yesterday, and both of them I scrutinize things and I go over things and I look at things and I kind of over analyze things. But yesterday in the crowd, some guy, and it was an older man's voice. This is the thing. Said, Andrew, you're all the things, and blatantly shouting it out at Andrew while they were making their procession through town in Scotland, I believe. Now, was it right for somebody to give out to Andrew? I think Andrew should get what people think about him. They should get that off their chest and reveal what to think about him and let him know exactly. He doesn't have his mommy to clutch onto her. Well, I can't say apron strings. He can't clutch onto the back of her tweed skirt. He has to grow up now and be a man. He hasn't got mommy to bail him out anymore. But was it the place and the time? No, it most certainly was not the place and time to do it. Regardless if you respect the family or respect royalty or respect whatever, it was still a mourning period. Bringing the body from one place to the next place through a town that she reigned in. If you don't respect the family, you don't have to go. If you went just to be a blackguard, you should have stayed at home. If you were going to be respectful to the people, it's just like if anybody else dies and there's a funeral going through the town. If you like the person, you go. If you don't, you don't. So for them to shout and roar, this man to shout and roar, this abuse was shocking to me. It was like, and I know if it was different circumstances, no, I can't say I'd have shouted it because I wouldn't have shouted it. I wasn't brought up that way. I wasn't brought up to be a shouty out person of abuse like that. Anyway, so no, Samantha, don't be telling fucking fibs. You wouldn't have done that first, second, or third place. So don't be lying. So, but if it was somebody who would be more mouthy than me, if they were at an ordinary funeral, they wouldn't have done it. So why do it there, right? It was just disrespectful, and it shouldn't have been done. Now, but the second clip is really weird because when you watch the first clip and listen carefully to the first clip, it's an older man, a man in his 40s or so, I'd say. And the cops go over in the second clip and they get this young lad, and I'd say he was about 16 or something. And he was like, I did nothing, I did nothing. And this fellow, which sounds very like the lad that was doing the actual shouting, but he was a big, huge Scotsman. The cops would never have got him down on the ground. So they probably just picked the nearest person to pick on that they would get on the ground. And they lifted him up, got him on the ground, put their knee on his chest. And he was like, I didn't do anything. I'm just standing here. I didn't do anything. And the other Egypt, that the voice, you could clearly hear that it was the same voice that was doing the shouting, was, oh, you blackguard, you do. Oh, you. No, that's Northern Ireland. Oh, my Scottish is gone. Anyway, he was, you blackguard, and you shouting out there, and you're doing all this. So the cops dragged away this 60. He could have been no more than 18 years of age and possibly 9 stone. Couldn't have been. He was only a tiny little thing, like a matchstick little lad. And dragged him off anyway. And he was like, I didn't do anything. I just wanted to watch the funeral. So, don't know what happened there. Whether the cops knew, and then when the camera spanned away, they said, "Here, here's £50. Go and buy yourself something nice, and let on that we caught the fella that was doing the anyway." But God knows what goes on. Anyhow, that was that. What else now was very weird to me? It was all weird to me. Yeah, I'm grand, Josh. I am. Josh said, hello, live people. I hope you're all alive, because if you're not, oh well, it'd be nothing to me. Um, I don't think there's anything else that stood out. No. Any questions? Can you draw a card for me or do a reading sometime? I'm big time into tarot. I could, indeed. I could. Um, I'm asking, is there anyone out there for you to come close? I'm feeling warm on my right hand side, but I think the spirits are a bit confused. um, um, I'm being shown black patent pumps. Um, I'm being told you should wear those. So I don't know what that means. um, um, they're a nice shoe, but they're more of an 80s shoe. So I don't really know if anybody would wear black patent pumps, really. That heel is very dated. Nice shoe for dancing, but no, I don't think so. Um, why has become a drag queen? I don't know. No, I'm just being shown black patent pumps. Um, that's interesting. Like, I'm literally being shown a leg from the calf down with the black patent pump on. Did anybody it's like, as I say, it is dated. It's a very, very much an 80s shoe. Um, I'm getting nothing else. That's weird. Like, I'm just being shown this leg with shoe on it. So, um, is there anything else? A different message, maybe? I see a lot of books. A lot of books. And now my eyes are closed, so I don't know what you're saying. Do you know the jewellery box that you wind up with the little ballerina inside of it? One of those was very important to someone. Um, Something got to do with the tune that it was playing, that it would play. I asked, was there any particular type of jewellery in it, in case there might be like a ring or something that might tie the jewellery box to the spirit, but no. Very, um, and it's more like a child's jewellery box than an adult's one. And there's my electricity telling me our electricity bills here are gone crazy. I've put €80 into the ESB since last Monday, and usually €20 would last a week, but the ESB here has gone absolutely crazy. Black patent shoes, a little girl's jewellery box, but it was the music that was in it and the little dancing ballerina that was more important. There wouldn't have been that much jewellery in it because it would have belonged to a little girl. So I'm not being told anything in particular. If it was an adult's jewellery box, I'd have been shown rings and stuff. And a lot of books. Um, I don't, you see, everybody on here I assume is in America, but I don't see this as in America, but a kind of a farming. Well, I see somebody digging with a spade. Um your ordinary green welly and digging with a spade. It's raining. So I see this more like over here rather than in America. No, I don't even feel it's Canada. I don't feel it's anywhere like that. But do you have ties to over here? And possibly farming or something got to do with digging and horticulture. I'm gonna open my eyes and see what's. Oh, maybe. Maybe you will be getting a new. Oh, oh. Well, that could have been. The digging could have been the funerals. Those visuals were fairly specific, though. That doesn't matter. You see, that wouldn't matter. And even if somebody was cremated, it wouldn't matter. It'd be how I see it. Like um if I seen somebody going in to flames, I'd think it was a house fire or it was a fire of some sort. So how I would interpret something would be how I would know how it would happen. That's how they would have to show it to me. So digging holes would be how they would have to show me that holes were digging. You know, they wouldn't show me. Well, I wouldn't know what a crypt is anyway. I'm assuming that's the things in the wall, or are they the things in the ground? Because I know everybody. America. I could never understand how such a big person can fit into one of them small little crypts, if that's the ones in the wall. So if I was shown something like that on a wall with a name on it, to me that would be a PO box. Um, so things are usually interpreted to me the way I would recognize them. Right, now that has me totally thrown off. I don't even know what that would be. Um, Now private grave to us would be a huge plot, and all the coffins would go into all the coffins from the family would go into um this one big plot, but it can only take a certain amount of um coffins before it collapses or something. I don't know, something happens. Well, I suppose it fills up maybe, but each private grave. I hope it doesn't. This isn't hurting you or upsetting you that we're talking about this. Are you okay? Do you want me to change the subject? Is it upsetting? Okay. Oh God, change the subject. Trying to find a subject in my head now. Um. Okay. The books. Is it you that likes the books? I got a book this morning that I ordered. Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. Um, I'm hoping it's good. It's about uh, a woman who shot her husband. God, sorry. Back to shooting and back to true crimes and stuff. Me and true crime. Anyway, um, she shot her husband in the head 5 times, but she hasn't spoken since then, and she won't talk to anybody. And I'm assuming, oh, totally original, and that. Okay. Um, Doctors can be very well. Possibly he didn't know. Possibly wasn't aware. But doctors can be very impersonal. So yeah, that can hurt a lot. I'm sorry that that happened. I do have a funny story. Um, Although it shouldn't be funny. Um, my sister, my sister's husband passed away, and for whatever reason, I think she still does it. But for I'd say there must be €250,000 in credit on his phone. But whatever reason, to keep the phone going, it was her last kind of thing about him. And she used to keep credit in his phone because it was a pay as you go. I don't know, you called them burner phones, I think. But I was at work one day and my phone was going in my pocket. So I pulled it out and there was his name coming up on my phone. Well, I nearly myself, I actually think I possibly did. No, I didn't. But I was very close to it. I was, oh my God, he's ringing from heaven. Oh my God, this never happened to me before. And yeah, I kind of got quite the fright when his phone was ringing. And when I answered, I was like, hello, hello. And my sister was like, what are you talking to me like that for? I said, it's Noel's phone you're using. And she said, oh, yeah. Oh, sorry, Samantha. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize it put the shits up me. It really did put the shits up me. So yeah, that's about dead husbands. Oh my God, it nearly killed me. Um you really need to think about those objects I was talking about as well. But anyway, condolences. It was Dean was about 2, I think. Um, I was I was working in a mental health unit, and I think Dean was around 2, and he's 21 now, so it was about 19 years ago. So it was neither here nor yesterday. His birthday, it was Christmas Day, and it was actually the day after St. Stephen's Day, which is the 27th, that he passed away. So just about a near miss. Wasn't on a bed for a start, although I could have done one with being on a bed that day after that phone call. Um, Amber Heard. Um, Anything else weird happened? Lots of weird things happened to me. One of the weirdest things that happened to me was I never met my grannies. No, a lie. I do remember meeting one of my grannies. I'm not sure which one. I think it was Granny Higgins. Um, Going into the local nursing home to visit her, and she gave me Kimberly Mikado biscuits. Kimberly ordinary Kimberly biscuits. Anyway, I didn't like them, but I had to say thank you anyway, because you're polite. You could be given a bag of poo, and you have to be thankful and grateful over here for it. So I said thank you. I took them and let everybody else eat them. Um, Sorry, just having water. Um, so I'm assuming that was Granny Higgins. So I was only about 6, maybe, at this age. We lived out in the country back then. Pitch black, absolute pitch black. The country was, and there was a humpback hill um between, literally around the end of my house, nearly to neighbour's house was on the other side. Obviously, neighbour's house is on the other side, and we were visiting the neighbours on the other side. So my house was a bungalow, not our house. Our home house was a bungalow set on the land, and my father's mother's house was a 2-story farmhouse, and it was still there. Um, my father was blacksmith, and he turned the house into a forge for himself. He was an army man, and there was some days he couldn't be aid um going in to do little fidgety bits. So he'd bring the steel home, and he'd make whatever, the fleur de lis or whatever. For all the army barracks in Ireland, he did the iron gates for and stuff, and the any steel ornamental things that would go around the army barracks, or if they needed the steel for the windows, anything like that, he did that. Um, he went as far as sergeant, I think, and he was he did his blacksmith training there. He left the army per se when it was retirement age, but they literally kicked him out when um he wouldn't leave. He wouldn't leave, and looking back, he shouldn't have left. Um was he 76 or something when they were finally, look at Mousy, you have to go. Daddy was very quiet. Um, for all the other army men would have been left, right, left, right, left. Daddy would have been the quiet one. Lads, would you mind marching if you know how to do it, lads. Just follow me and we'll pretend I'm shouting. That should be Daddy. So he was nicknamed Mousy because he was so quiet and so you wouldn't see nor hear him or his soldiers coming because there'd be no shouting out with him. But anyway, Mousy done. And he turned Granny's house into a forge, and he did his bits. So I was about 4. This goes back to me seeing stuff and all cards and stuff. But I was about 4. Sorry. I'm leaning on my right hand, and my illness causes numbness in my body. So my right arm is all gone numb. So yeah, I'm on to mate now. Yeah, we were coming over the bridge, and we were visiting. Myself, my sisters were visiting neighbours. Call it a humpback bridge, but a humpback is just an ordinary bridge up and over, and we were connected to the Royal Canal. It was right. We were right next door to the Royal Canal. So anyway, went over the bridge, and the first thing you'd see when you'd be coming up to our house was Granny's house, and there was a window on the right gable end, which would have been the one we were facing coming down the road. And I said, "Who's that woman? How did somebody get into Daddy's forge? How did Daddy, well, I used to call it Daddy's garage. How did she get into Daddy's garage? How is she upstairs when there's no stairs left in there?" And my 2 sisters were freaked out, so they said nothing. And when they finally got me inside, and I was still like, "Who is she? What's she doing up there? Are we not going to try and get her out? Are we going to call the guards?" So when they got me inside, they were like, "White as sheets. And who did you see in there?" I was like, "I don't know who she was. An old woman." And what did she look like? She had grey hair tied up in a bun, and they nearly passed out. And Daddy said, um, that was your grandmother's bedroom. And I was like, "Well, I know, I didn't know that." And he said, "Well, that's possibly my mother you were talking to and talking about. So she's definitely entitled to be in there." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So that was the way everything went for me. It was like my family would freak out, and everybody, Daddy or whoever, be like, "That's okay. She's meant to be there." They wouldn't pass Martina. But yeah, my granny was in her room in Daddy's garage. What other weird spells? I haven't done spells in a long while. Done a couple of praying spells, which really aren't praying spells. They're more of I'd like this to be happen and for the good of others. You always have to try and do it for the good of others, because if you do it for the good of yourself, it won't work. Every time I get up to about an hour, I start going My throat starts going dry. So, yeah, killing husbands. So I'm going to start this tonight and see what it's about. I've been waiting to get it for a long time. And the audios, when I turn an audio on, I tend to, my finger starts going to hit audiobook, but then it hits YouTube, and then I'm lost for a few hours and I haven't listened to any of my books. So I bought a physical book. A physical in my hand, The Silent Patient in my hand, physically now. I'm going to read it and see what happens. Stephen Fry says it's absolutely brilliant. The Times don't believe you, but they said it's terrific. Entertainment Weekly think it's unforgettable. The Observer compelling. BBC Culture, the pace and finesse of a master. But the only one I'm really believing is David Baldacci. I like him, and any book that I have physically in my hand is usually one of his, and I enjoy them. And he said it's totally original. Totally original by David Baldacci. That could mean completely original, a load of bullshit. That could be what that means. The Perfect Thriller, AJ Finn. Oh well, we'll give it a go. We all have the ability to see our people again. There's just a veil between us. On tomorrow and do the cards, but I don't know how to tag people or how to let people know. I might schedule it for an hour, but I'd rather do it privately. I'd rather do it privately because I think there's things. David Baldacci. He's a crime thriller. He's really good. Don't ask me any of the names of books because I'm a disaster at naming them. I just have them all over there. I'll just say over there because there's a pile of books just over there that Jer comes up and will we give me mother a few books to give to her friends? No. How could you? How could you want to give my books away? Don't you dare come into my room and tell me that again. Don't you dare. And then he goes downstairs and makes me a coffee to say sorry. Or he'll bring me up a cup of ice water to say sorry for even insinuating such a thing. Yeah, his books are really good. I'm such a disaster for forgetting where I was. And I go from topic to topic to topic. And I tell myself every day, I'm going to write down each individual topic like a good YouTube talking person. I wouldn't call myself a creator. All I do is talk and hope people listen. Pray for people to listen to me. That's all I do. I'm not really a creator. I most certainly wouldn't call myself a creator, especially when I'm surrounded in the group. Stephen King books. My son, oh, he's Stephen King mad. But especially when I put myself in the group that I'm in, chatting to girls, they're creators. I'm just a chatter. That's all I am. You know, like, but you can put on makeup and you're talented at makeup and you can do the cards. Samantha, that's creation. No, that's just me, girls. That's not. creative to me, but it's creative to other people. No, just to me. So I don't see myself as a creator at all. Um, I do. Sorry, I do create a good limerick on the spot. I am. I do create a good limerick on the spot. I must admit that is something good. Okay, I can put makeup on rather well, and I do have tips and tricks because sometimes ladies of my vintage sometimes put makeup on and they look like, what are you at? So ladies of my vintage, I do have tips and tricks for them on Facebook, which I haven't actually done a Facebook live in a long time with my makeup. I have to get back doing that. Um and my vintage is the right side of 50 for now, and for another little few years. Um but not for very many years. um Unless, of course, the world ends, like, we could be going into World War III. No, we're not. And nuclear bombs could be let off. There's no nukes left in the world. And, all these crazy ass things could happen, which aren't going to happen. And, I mightn't even make it to 50. So it'd be grand, be sound. Have tips and tricks for makeup and to keep your makeup tip top condition and such things. So yes, in that sense, I suppose. But no, I wouldn't call myself a creator, except for because it's just what women do. Is they put on makeup. It's their thing. Um, but I can create a good limerick on the spot. There was a man with cement shoes who couldn't hear the local news. If his feet weren't heavy, he could go to the pub for a bevy and he could hear all the other people's views. Ta-da! Ta-da! That is my talent, to create a limerick all of my own on the spot. See? There was a middle-aged woman called Sam. Her stomach wouldn't let her digest ham. She would think it was a fart, but it would end up a shart and leave her in an awful jam. See? Leave her in a serious jam. That sounds better. Serious jam, not awful jam. That I didn't like that ending. Serious jam. And I also can't eat ham, although I don't think it. I don't because it doesn't give me wind. It just doesn't digest very well. Actually people aren't actually meant to eat pork. That was a message from the angels many years ago to me. Pork isn't for humans consumption. Very good. Very, very good. Yeah, that's very good one. Sure, we're all fucking demented. I'm very cursy today. I'm not very ladylike today at all. I'm very cursy. Um, I hear footsteps on the stairs. Yep. What's wrong? Yeah, I need ice. Oh yeah. And turn on that light. I'm stuck for words now. I think you outdid me with the limericks. Outdone me. Outdid. Yeah, that grammar was bad. Sorry about that. Sometimes my mouse grammar and brain grammar just get kind of confused and they don't know which is which. And my mouse grammar wins and it's usually wrong. Um, I'm wondering how I'm going to do this reading because I do readings over um I do readings over WhatsApp and that. So I think um my email address is in the description. So if you email me tomorrow, because I don't want to do a proper reading for anybody online um on here because secret things might come out. Now, little things like you really need to look into those shoes, the little jewelry box, and you said you read the books, but I would look into those things because those things are um they are important and they are part of what you will know. Thank you, Jer. Um so if you go into my about section, the my email will be in there. And email me and I will email you back a reading. Um usually yeah, I can attach I take a picture of the cards that come out and then what I usually do is I go through to explain the cards. Now I'll do a tarot card reading for you because sometimes an angel card reading will tell you the nice things and the good things and the future things that will happen and that should happen to you and it's uplifting and that's why I read them online because there's no um there's no real private stuff in them. Um it might say you're not talking to somebody, so you need to make friends with somebody, or, so it'll never go in deep. So I might do a tarot card reading for you, unless you want. Yeah, I do it through email, or if it's somebody around that can't get to me, um, that's on my Facebook, I do a FaceTime readings on Facebook. Um, if they have my phone number, it's I know that. I know I know that. Yeah, no, I know that. Um, yeah, on Facebook, on anything that you can FaceTime, um, anybody around here will do that, and we'll go through the cards together, just like a one to one. And then I have one to one people that I haven't had anybody call for in ages. Usually January gets really busy, January, February, because it's a new year and everybody wants to know what's going to happen in the next year. So usually that's the time of year that's really busy for me, one to one. But yeah, um, in my about section, it's Samantha Fitzmars 74 at gmail.com anyway. So um my it's in the about section. Um don't know if that car was that anybody coming in here or not. That's why I went quiet, because I'm nosy. Oh, that arm is so numb. I still haven't I still haven't gone round watching all the YouTube channels. Um in case people do wonder why I don't bring them up. I don't bring them up because I don't know anything about them. Um, I'm not. I'm not a shouty person. I'm not really a gossiper. Actually, I just say I am the worst gossiper I know. I am the worst for it, because my sister could tell me something now, right? And she'll go into detail and she'll tell me, and it could be something about somebody that's important, right? Like, my sister is very sick and she could tell me something about her, that she got results of some sort, or it could be something actually important, um or it could be just plain gossip, but she'll tell me stuff, and um I listen to her. But you see, with me, and I suppose it's with the cards as well, for what's for me to know will stay in my head, and if it's not for me to know, it'll be gone, it'll be gone. So people will say, "What did you say in that reading to me last week?" I was like, "You were with me last week." Sorry, I don't know. I can't remember. And genuinely, hand on heart, I don't remember. Um, I don't know where I was going with that. See, um, I'm completely confused now where I was going with that. I think I'll start again. Um, my sister would come in and she'd tell me something, and it could be important or not important, but I'll forget it. No, it's gone. It's gone. So that wasn't even for me to know. It's completely gone. And it's about me gossiping. I know that. Oh, yeah. That's how I gossip. That's my whole thing about me being the worst gossiper ever. And you've seen it for yourself. Worst gossiper in the world. Um, People know they can come and, oh my God, they can pour their hearts out to me. Absolute pour their hearts out to me. I'll do what I can for them and help them in any way I can, and then I'll forget. Completely forget. So you wouldn't have to worry about your cards being read by me because it's not for me to know, so I don't remember. Um, that's a bloody. I'm upstairs, so I can't look out the window, or they'll know I'm looking at them. But that's a trailer, like a cow trailer or a horse trailer that's outside. What the fuck is happening? Oh, they're probably. Do you know what? One of the young fellas that come here left his car. Was probably somebody bringing his car off. They're making some racket at it. They'll make shite of the fucking car. And that could be what's happening. We'll say that's what's happening anyway, because I can't be arsed getting off the chair and going over and looking. So someone's taking Brian's car. I'll get up now in the morning and Brian's car will be there. And I'll be like, I thought they took that. Anyhow, yeah, back to the stories that I can't remember any readings I've done. I can't remember people that have come to me to have readings done. And literally, what's for me to remember, um, I'm stuck on that trailer now. I don't know what's happening outside my front door. Maybe they're taking my house away. Lads, I'm in the house. Don't be taking the house away and I in it. Don't know how the fuck you're going to get the foundation up off the ground from out. Anyway, you could wait another while. I'm painting the two boys' rooms next week. And by the way, I live in a 4-bedroom semi-detached house, so there's no way they can take house, foundation, and the whole lot up out of the ground and tow me away. So it's all right. I'm sound. I'm grand. Um, I don't know what's happening out there. If I lived on a farm, I swear it was cattle. Do you know what? The window's open. He's probably going to knock on the door and tell me, would you tell your missus up there, this is what I'm doing outside your house? Now I feel comfortable talking, now that he's gone and he can't hear me talk. And it looked like I'm talking to myself. Um, yeah. other YouTube channels. I don't know any of them. I don't really go near any of them because they bring my vibe down, man. And I don't need my vibe down, man. I'm very unproductive when my vibe is down. And I don't like it. Um, Also, if your vibe is down and you don't feel great in the best of form, I wouldn't be going to certain channels either. Um, Ones that you enjoy, the true crime ones and things like that. I'd be looking for something to make me have a giggle and stuff. There's a lot of negativity on YouTube, and you know, I'm trying to lift the vibrations up, and um tomorrow I might come on with um I do have a new um I learned a new way of meditating the other day, which is very easy, and I do want to show people how to do that. Um and I might come on and do that tomorrow. It's really easy, and it like 2 minutes, and that's what it takes, and that's what I want to do. I'm I don't want to do the whole actually that isn't even meditating. That's just what that is higher vibrations, and it's the sound, it's the megahertz of the sound that the Lord gives off. You've heard the song, and David played, and it pleased the Lord, right? So the was the chord that pleased the Lord. And if you have a tuning fork and things like that, it'll um tune it. Oh jeez, I'm just gonna sit up a different way altogether till the arm stops being numb. Do you know, if it was anybody else, I'd say, look, go to the hospital. I think you're taking a heart attack. But I'm used to this arm going numb like that. I used to put CBD on it to get the blood flowing, but I'm coming out in a rash and everything, so my vasculitis is playing up on me. It's the change of season. Anyway, so I'm sure you've heard of the tuning bowls, and they'd have a gold or a bronze um like pestle and mortar, and they'd go around the outside of the bowl, and then they'd go ting, and the bowl would make a vibration. There's the higher vibrations that people use, and it's only when that's why they go or and that's not for everybody, and that's not for me. I don't do it either. um I do like tuning forks though. Have a story as well in a moment, and it's crazy. I really, really wish I could screen share. I've so much information that I can't flip and share because it doesn't make an awful lot of sense when I'm just saying it. But if I could show people it, it would make more sense. But anyway, I do like the sound of tuning forks hitting off something and put it to my ear and going. Anyway, there are temples in Egypt, and if you stand at the bottom of the temple at a certain angle and clap your hands, um, the sound that comes from within the temple is like birds tweeting. Um, it's supposed to be a healing um, for the people around each temple, and it could be a 10-mile radius from this temple. And if you go to the bottom of these, and there's steps up into it, and the top of it is like an open space. And if you go to at the bottom of the steps at a certain angle and you clap your hands, the bird sound frequency comes out, and there's healing energy in it for, depending on how big the pyramid is. And it could be 10 miles, could be 100 miles. And there is a certain thing in America, and it's hundreds of miles long. And if you stand, it's just one big tuning fork. If you stand at the bottom, if you stand a few foot away from any part of this thing, this is so controversial. That's why I'm not saying what it is. But if you stand a foot, 2 foot away from it and clap your hands, it gives off the same frequencies as the pyramid temples in Egypt. And I've watched it being done, and somebody was standing at the bottom of it, and just a big tuning fork, and clapped his hand. Tweet, 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 tweet. You could hear the tuning forks hitting off each other and sending the different vibrations of the sounds of the birds, in whatever megahertz it is. There's 4 different megahertz that are frequently healing. And I was watching someone last night. Do I believe her or do I not believe her? I don't know. I haven't done. I could try. I actually, yeah, I'd love to go to these places too, but too far from here. I'd die on an airplane. Um, just someone I don't know. I watched her at the start, and I just don't know. And I know if I tried, I could um connect to these people as well. I have done on occasions for other people. I've connected to their spirit people, and got answers correctly. But this person, I don't know. But anyway, I was watching her last night, and she was talking about the different frequencies and the different vibrations, but she was only talking about it in a spiritual sense, in a connect to the spirits sense. I don't know. The first case I listened to with her, I was getting the same feelings. I don't really have to do the cards or whatever. I get feelings as soon as I watch something. I'll get a feeling. I'll get a vibe. And I'm not usually too far wrong with the vibes. And because I have serious conspiracy theories about different things and places and different parts of the world, that I'll look at it in a real way and a conspiratorial way. So I do get my own ideas as soon as I watch anything happen. But I don't know. Last night was just You see, with this one case that's doing me head in, um, everything is so confusing that to get a straight answer from it is quite hard. I know what he's doing. I said 8 o'clock. I said 8 o'clock. I was going for my bath. And he's filling the fucking bath for me to make sure I get into it. Oh, he's a messer. And he'll come in, have your bath ready. Um, so this will have to be the last thing I say because he will come in, have your bath ready. Um, so yeah. Um, so she could get no reading last night. Now, sometimes I get that happens to me, but a few days later I'll get a reading on it. Um, but it was definitely odd last night that it was the first time since the Watts that I've watched her, and she could get nothing. Nothing was working for her. None of her spirit boxes or anything. Actually, if I had money, that's probably what I would buy. No, first I'd buy a crystal ball. But I was going to try some night, and I must put it to the girls. I was going to try some night going into my beauty room. That's where I do the spirit work. I talk to the angels and everything in there. And I was going to go in and just put on my Himalayan light and sit in the dark and go live and see if any different spirits come during the night while it's dark. And only the Himalayan salt lamp to guide the spirits to me. I'd probably frighten the shite out of myself, but at least I'll have tried it and see will it work, see will it do anything. Um, because all these people and all of the money they spend on gadgets, and they're like Ghostbusters, and they have um what do you call the stuff that they used to use in the in hundreds, that green stuff. Oh, what was it called? And that's it, but sure, it was just sticky out stuff. And they used to say it was the spirits thing that was in Ghostbusters movie as well. Plasma. And yeah, it shouldn't, it should not cost you money to talk to the other side of the veil. So um yeah, I don't know about the, but I would buy a crystal ball, and I possibly would buy just uh an EMP. And what's it called? Electric magnetic pulse. Yeah, EMP. Yeah, I'd probably buy one of them. Definitely a crystal ball because I don't have one of them. I ordered one. Oh, God. Every time. And I wanted something really important. Like, I go and buy some rubbishy crap off Wish. But every time I wanted something really important, they would throw the life out of me. I bought a crystal ball off them one time, and it was the size of a marble. So, yes. Do you not remember that, Jar? And it sat on a little wooden stand and everything. Yeah. Yeah, a paperweight for one page paper. Christian. crystal ball, crystal marble. And Dean was talking about the wool this morning. He was like, I don't want to be trolled like the wool you got that. I went through a phase of knitting to just keep me occupied at night time, and there was some like 12 balls of wool, and like the wool here was quite well, not it depends on what you're making, right? It's not expensive per ball, it's about a fiver. But what my plan was to make baby blankets. Now, my daughter had a stillborn baby, a stillbirth, and he was wrapped in a beautiful blanket and everything. And we asked, like, do we donate to the blanket or do we what? And they said, no, there's women out there that actually just knit stuff, and they knit blankets, they knit cardigans, they knit little suits for babies that are stillborn to be wrapped up in, and they donate them. So I was like, I can knit. This would be a really good thing. And like, I can crochet and I can do all that sort of stuff. Dang, maybe I am a creator. Hot damn. Anyway, so I said I can do all that, and I wanted to pay back for Aaron when he passed away. So I was spending a fortune on wool. I didn't pass any heat in it. It was keeping me busy at night time after work. I was doing something good. I was donating to charity. I was donating to help other families, and I was doing something nice. So I wish had this deal. I should have known. I should have known. Wish had this deal for 12 balls of wool for €5. I was like, man, put that in my basket. I'm gone. Get my basket, pay for it, do it, done. Get that wool to me, and I will knit for the rest of the month. No, the wool was that you would make a skirt for the size of a Barbie out of the balls of wool. It was like thread. It was like balls of thread, and that came in the post, and I was like, "Oh, you trolled me, you trolled me, you got me good." So, yeah, I get trolled. So my bat is ready. Oh, 33. Right. Oh shit, it's not going to change. It's going to go to 40. Right. Okay. That was 133. 30 seconds, and I was like, oh, I ain't stopping at a 333. No man, no way, no how. I would not do that. So it's an hour and a half. I've been talking and keeping everybody. Yeah, it's a good charity. Um um it's needed, and it's a little it's a little comforting for the mothers and family of the babies that they're given to them wrapped in a little um blanket and stuff, So I have Colonel at the bottom of the bed waiting for me to go and have my bath. So I shall say good night for tonight. Cement shoes, look up my email address and email me, and I will do a reading for you over the YouTubes. No, not over the YouTubes, over the emails. Yeah, an hour and a half, an hour and nearly 40 minutes. And um get you told what you need to know. All right. And I'm telling you, think about that jewellery box, and those black patent shoes. They're connected to you somehow because I'm never wrong. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye. And if anyone comes on later on, please, please, please let me know you've been on. Just thumbs up or thumbs down. I don't mind. It all gives me the algorithm that I need. If you like me or not. Yeah, on your email. Yeah, you email me. I don't know your email. Electric chair detective. Okay. That's not a weird email at all. But anyway, um, I shall look forward to emailing on an electric chair. um, you already did. Right, so I'm off to have my bath and I shall either catch you later on or tomorrow. And anybody else that comes on later, even if it's only for a second, I shall. Well, you won't see here this if it's only for a second. Look, goodbye and good luck, because I'll be saying I'll be like my sister. Bye 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 until you hang up.